So, hello everybody. I hope you are doing well. It is me, Demetra K, and I am still here by myself. Donovan, I think, will be back next Sunday as he is still in the DR. So, if you're following Donovan, you are following him in all of his adventures and all of that. So, I sent him a link. He may or may not come on, but nevertheless, I am here and you are here. I like to say the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people with the emphasis on even because we are great people, but we can always strive to do better. Also, like I said, big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you viewers, but your family, and sometimes I do share the link. All I ask is that if I share the link and your profile looks like this, please show me your face so that I can, verify that it's you. And then if you want to blank your face back out before I bring you up to the big screen, you can do that. Also ask that we are respectful to one another in the comment section. And if you come up here, be respectful on the panel, basically watching your language and all that, the usual stuff, right? What else? So today, we're going to be talking about the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef, sort of, kind of. Okay. I wanted to just put that out there and that it has the community captivated. Now, when I say the community, I mean Black people. And admittedly, it's not all Black people, but it's enough Black people for me to say, you know what, I'm going to talk about it because it's been on every timeline that I have, whether it's Twitter, which I don't really go on there much, X, Facebook is all up and down, it's Instagram, to the point to where I even stopped going on for a while. And my daughter as well. My daughter, is she's a hip hop fan as I am. I also want to say that I like both of them. I like Drake and I like Kendrick Lamar. So we're going to talk about that, but I want to talk about us being captivated and the distractions. What are we being distracted from? So of course we'll have that conversation. Hello, Monet. How you doing? Lynette from Montgomery. Mike, nice. What's going on, Demetrius? I hope you are doing well. It says this is a display of the difference between pop and real hip hop. You think that's what it is? Okay. I also want to say that I'm not here to debate the particulars necessarily of who said what, this, that, and the other, although I am aware of a lot of the things that's being said. But that's also where I want to call some people to the carpet in maybe being a little bit disingenuous about certain things, right? I'll get into that. Who else is on here? Samuel C., how you doing? And Brother Don, I hope you are doing well. Okay. So as you guys may or may not know, I don't know, it's probably started a couple of weeks ago from what I understand. There is this beef, right? A rap beef going on between, hey, Brother Sammy, how you doing? Latrell, what's going on with you? Between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. And it's gotten pretty nasty. I would say very nasty. There's been a lot of allegations. It sounds like that's gone forward from people messing with kids. People, when I say people, I'm going to say those two involved. So one of them supposed to be messing with kids. One of them supposed to be beating their wife. And, just a whole bunch of stuff. If you ask me, it's like they telling on each other and all of that. So it sounds like Kendrick Lamar has released a couple of diss songs like back to back to back. Drake has released some as well, but it's a lot going on. Okay. Now I understand all of that from the younger generation. It sounds like Drake and Kendrick are the same age, 37, right? So I understand it from their generation. But what I do not understand is from people like my generation, right? If you guys don't know, I'm 53. And so I would say that my generation was pretty much the inception of hip hop. So I like to say that because a lot of times people say, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know about hip hop. It's like, man, shut your mouth, okay? My generation is hip hop, right? But I digress. So I get it from the younger generation. They're involved in all that. But what I don't get is from the older people, specifically a lot of older men who have jumped into this and saying certain things and all that other stuff. And I'm going to get into some of those things as well. And I've seen a lot of people try to make this more philosophical, right? Specifically, trying to make Kendrick Lamar like he is the savior. He is this Messiah. He is delivering something. I don't know, right? He's alerting the world that Drake is really the enemy. Kind of. That's kind of what I'm getting from it, right? Drake is the bad guy. He's Goliath. I don't know. And then maybe Kendrick is David. And And so I'm like, wow, people are extrapolating all of that out of this. Now, I'm not new to this. I've seen a copious amount of rap beefs, if you will, in my time. I don't know if any of them have ever gotten to this point. I don't know. We didn't have social media back then. But I thought about it, and I'm not the only one that's thought about it. There's a lot of people thought about it. Like, what is going on outside of this rap beef, right? We kind of talked about this the other day. Let's just keep it a buck. We as Black people are a distracted group of people, okay? We are distracted by everything that does not matter in the larger scheme of things. Like, there's this business term, and I learned this a long time ago, and it's with them, which means what's in it for me. Now, as I've gotten older, I like to ask that question a lot, whether it's in regards to dealing with people, certain things, business, whatever. I like to ask, well, what's in it for me? Now, I'm not necessarily saying everything that you do, there has to be a net benefit from you for you. But when I think of this rap beef, I ask myself, what's in it for us as Black people to be so involved in this? The other thing is, Black people ain't involved in nothing else to this degree, like we should be, right? And I'll get into some of those things. But when it comes down to some nonsense, we all involved in it. And I want to put this up because I saw this and I thought it spoke beautifully, as usual, right, to the situation. That is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who has said, and this was on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken, and this was probably a while back because he has the blue check. I don't think he has it anymore. But it says, Nebuchadnezzar used sport and play and music to divert people's attention away from the fall of Babylon, right? Now, we know that America has been likened to Babylon in every way, shape, and form. If you know anything about Babylon, you know that it was considered to be the original city of sin. We know that Vegas is considered to be the original or city of sin, but Babylon was known as that. Any and everything that you can think of horrible went wrong, right? You name it, it went on. The people were in debt. There was a lot of gambling. There was like mafia stuff going on. There was prostitution. It was, you name it, right? So eventually it fell. So if you think about comparing the two, the United States and Babylon, it's really kind of one and the same, right? But in that, it says Nebuchadnezzar used sport, play, and music, which is a distraction, right? That's what's going on now. We have distractions. So with that comes the question, what are we being distracted from? Does anybody care? Does anybody even know? Like, are we just so involved? Now I'm going to remove this. In sport and playing, the sport and playing music, this rap beef. Now, are we so involved? And I know that's not all of y'all, but it's enough people for me to be talking about it. Are we that distracted to where we just don't care anymore? So I made a post on Facebook and it got quite a bit of attention. But I have responded to somebody and say, you know what, that's pretty good if I don't say so myself. So as we're being distracted, did y'all know? And who else came on here? Color Lane, how you doing? Herschel, Emmett, how you doing? JJ, Brother Jonell, what's going on? Facts and Our Feelings, and oh man, Jesus, how you doing it? Okay, and I'm gonna get into these questions. So y'all try not to type too fast so I can, go back. Hello, Easy. Hello, Alvin. All right. So did y'all know that the House just passed another form of an anti-Semitism bill? They already have one right on the federal level, but they passed it. So the House hasn't gone through the Senate, has not been signed by Biden as of yet, right? It passed to strengthen the anti-Semitism bill. They want to put it in so you can't say certain things. Of course, y'all know there's a lot of protests and things going on college campuses. And that particular community is saying that people are being mean to us and what they're doing is anti-Semitism. So they want to strengthen it so you can't say certain things. Now, within that strengthening of this bill that they already have, the Bible, certain things in the Bible may come into play that you cannot talk about because it seems to be of anti-Semitism. Now, of course, y'all know the Jews are accused of, harming Jesus, if you will, crucifying him. Let's say that, crucifying Jesus. And they're saying that they don't want that to be said because that hurts their feelings, I guess, right? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that they're getting a bill that's tougher? But guess what? You get beef. You get beef. Almost every other community has a hate crime bill specifically for them, but Black people don't have one. Now, we've been asking for a hate crime bill for a very long time, specifically for us. We don't have one, but we got beef. Okay. The other thing is the migrants. Y'all know the migrants is a hot topic item. Migrants are coming in from everywhere. Coming in from everywhere. They're getting housing, they're getting money, they're getting food, they're getting health care. California is going to spend $2.6 billion a year taking care of the migrants, no matter what their immigration status is. They've also said that migrants can apply for housing programs for first-time buyers. And they can get, grants and loans and stuff to buy a house for mortgage. Of course, they have to apply and credit-wise. But do you get that? You don't get that. But you get beef, though. That you get beef, and that's what everybody's wrapped up into this beef. Mind you, Kendrick and Drake are very wealthy. They got a lot of money between the both of them, okay? But you get beef, all right? Now, we also overwhelmingly vote for the Democratic Party more than any other race on this in the United States, right? But guess what? The Democrats do less for us as Black people. Matter of fact, November, the elections are coming up, and we are going to go to the polls, and let's keep it a buck, not all of us, but enough of us are going to cast the vote for the Democratic Party so they can go help everybody else but Black people. But guess what you get? You get beef. I even seen people bring up this old clip of Obama, I guess, asking who would, be the best in a contest of whatever between Drake and Kendrick and Obama, I guess, said Kendrick. But y'all don't talk about Obama any other time except for when it's with some foolishness. All right? But you get beef. Remember that. Okay? All this money is going to fund wars. When I say all this money, I do mean billions and billions of dollars going to fund war. But whenever you ask for reparations, we ain't got it. We ain't got it. But you know what they say? We got beef for you, though. How you want it? You want it well done? You want it, medium? You want it rare? How do you want your beef? You got that. Okay? Moving right along. And y'all know what? It's been a long time since I've even taken notes on anything on this show, but I thought today I would, okay? The other thing we got on here is the Black man and woman are so disjointed. We don't get along more than any other time, I would imagine, in history. We don't get along. We don't like each other. We find any and every reason to fight against each other. Talk about, I'm going to go get me a white man. I'm going to go get me a white woman. But yet, we can agree on beef. Yeah, we can get together and participate in some beef. But we can't participate in how to get the Black man and woman back together so that we can continue to nation build, right? Whatever we have left of this nation, okay? Now, I want to talk about some other things, and I'm going to get to y'all comments. We still don't have reparations. Y'all know we was talking about that, but no, we took a long pause to talk about beef and other stuff that really don't matter in the larger scheme of things, because guess what? Drake nor Kendrick Lamar will need no reparations, but the rest of us need reparations, right? We don't have reparations. We don't have a specific hate crime bill for us, as I said, but them folks, they got one, and they may be getting one that's even stronger, okay? We don't have any real police reform. I know President Joe Biden says, I did police reform. He did it on the federal level, but you're less likely to get stopped by the FBI, CIA, Border Patrol, anybody else that's considered a federal office. I'm not saying you won't, but you're more than likely to be affected by a state or a local officer. Those police reforms don't apply to them. But guess what? You got beef. Okay? We are still the most homeless population in the United States of America, probably the most homeless in every city and state. Okay? I would imagine we would be the most homeless to get beef. Also, per FBI statistics, we are the most endangered when it comes to being harmed by, different people, including ourselves. Let's just put that in there, okay? Because I know somebody going to probably say that. We are the most affected by mass incarceration. It says that Black men are, 3, 4, 5 times more likely than a white man to be locked up under mass incarceration. So we are busting at the seams in every jail and prison in America. But y'all want to sit up and talk about Kendrick Lamar and Drake? Surely you jest, but then maybe you don't. We are also the most unemployed, even though they say, the unemployment rate in America is going down. Yeah, but the Black unemployment rate is still high. Is it higher than it used to be? The answer is what they're saying is no, but it's still high. It's almost 9%, okay? That's pretty high, and it's probably higher than that because we know people don't always report whether they're unemployed or not. Some people just checked out altogether and said, I'm just going to do whatever I got to do, right? We are the most unhealthy for a whole host of reasons, right? We just are. And most everything you can think of as far as health-wise, we are at the bottom of that, okay? We live in the most food deserts, which means that we don't have grocery stores. I know Detroit, they just opened up one, so that's a big deal. But why do we have to celebrate the opening of Black grocery stores? Shouldn't we just have one? But we don't. We live in food deserts, okay? I'm almost done. Black people in America see about $1.4 trillion a year, right? It's a lot of money. It says we can make up the ninth-ish largest country in the world with that type of money that Black people in America see. But we give 97% of that away, surviving on 3% of that, but y'all worried about beef. Guess who don't have to survive on 3% of their income? That's Drake and Kendrick. But Black people running around here as if they really got a dog in the fight. Do y'all really think Kendrick or Drake care about what y'all say? Do y'all really think that? Because at the end of the day, both of them went and secured a bag, okay? They secured a bag from the streaming and the numbers and all that other stuff. They gonna be all right. Y'all have made them richer. I say y'all because I'm not involved in that, okay? I'm just talking about it. Made them richer. Now, Dr. Claude Anderson has asked us a long time ago to practice group economics. For those of y'all that don't know what that means that we should have education, media, Justice Department, politics, and economics, but we're not doing any of that at all. We don't hardly have any schools. We don't have any political control. Let's keep it a buck. We vote for the Democrats, as I said, but they don't do nothing for us. In fact, they're like, we're not doing nothing for y'all, but guess what? We expect for you to come to the polls, stroll to the polls, strip to the polls, and all that other stuff to come vote for us, and we ain't gonna do nothing for you, right? Economics, well, I just told y'all we give away most of our money, but we worried about beef. So what I want to ask y'all is why? But I also want to play this last clip before we get into it. Now, this comes from Vince Staples. He was somewhere, and he was asked this question. So I'm going to turn it up so y'all can hear it. All right, here we go.
Between Drake and Kendrick. It's going up on social media. Don't trip, I got your back, bro.
You don't want to know how I feel about that shit, bro.
Keep with me after.
You really want to know how I feel about that shit?
I want to know.
I think, so I'm signed to Universal, right?
Yeah.
I've been signed to Universal since I was 17. I haven't got a back end. That means when you turn in an album, they give you payment. I haven't got a back end since 2017, 18. So I done been on the same record label for 13 years, so to say. That record label just folded all of its independent labels and subsidiaries into each other, which means how we was kids, you got Rockefeller, you got Def Jam, you got all these things, none of them exist no more. They fired all the heads of the labels, and if they didn't, they turned them into glorified A&Rs. They cut off 50% of the people who work in all these departments. Most of those people is us, people of color that come from hip hop and R&B and these other things, right? Then you got record labels opening up IPOs. You got record labels destroying their relationships with TikTok, Spotify, things that pay out artists because they want to start their own shit. So then we get priced out of our contracts, we get priced out of our imprints. There are no labels basically that are incentivized to sign black music, and it's happening in front of our eyes. And while Taylor Swift is fighting for people to be able to have streaming money, niggas is on the internet arguing with each other about some rap shit. So that's how I feel about it, honestly. Neighbors is on the
language, Vince. Language.
Nah, I appreciate you keeping it real.
So I think, personally, I think we better than that. I think we deserve better than that because we've been saying for decades that we want people to respect black music and black art and black people. And I think for that to happen, we gotta respect ourselves. And they don't make it easy for us, but we gotta try to work a little bit harder at that.
Okay. So y'all heard it from him. Now, he is a rapper, actor. He's pretty, cool individual. I'm gonna remove that. But what he said was, people, we'll just say that, are arguing on the internet, having a rap beef. But basically, black artists within these organizations don't have any representation at all. He said he hasn't gotten paid on the back end. What do you say, since 2013 or 16 or something like that, which is a very long time, right? And he says they're firing a lot of A&R people, just, people that could really help get black music to where it needs to be. But people are arguing over low-hanging fruit. And not only just representation in the music industry, but anywhere, right? And I also hear this a lot. Oh, well, hip hop, the culture. We need to gatekeep that. But how much power do you have if you don't own the pink slip to hip hop? The very same people that he says, cutting all those people out of Universal, they own the pink slip to hip hop. It's our culture, but is it paying anybody else's bills? Whose bills is it really paying? And I saw there's a conversation about Vlad, DJ Vlad. He trying to get some sister in trouble because she basically told him to mind his business in regards to this rap beef, and now he trying to get her fired. She's a professor at Princeton, but now you're starting to see people have this conversation like y'all should have never invited him in the first place. But see, a lot of those rappers, they go and they sit and they let him interrogate them, for lack of better words, right? But now he all up in what people are saying black folks' business, and he don't like that, so he's mad. Now he trying to get her in trouble, but if you really think about it, his people, they the ones that are benefiting the most out of this than anybody. So anyway, I'm gonna get to y'all comments and see what y'all got to say, because Lord have mercy. Let's see who came on here. Okay, y'all don't have too many comments, so I think I could catch up. All right. And JJ says rappers beef is just another form of entertainment for white supremacy to watch these idols kill and destroy each other. Yeah, it's like a gladiator, right? You're sitting in a gladiator arena and, your team this, team that, and, you're watching people basically tear each other to shreds, and it's crazy. Let's see here. Clubber Lane says the record labels and people behind the scenes are making a fortune off of this. They know most black people are predictable. There you go. You know how many people make money off of predicting the habits and patterns of black people? It's you'll be amazed. Facts Not Feeling says peace and love. Family says I am catching the 1970s Pam Grier. Oh, okay, thank you. He said, seriously, damn, have to take a second look at the screen. I appreciate you. Oh man, Jesus says Kendrick is literally calling out his sex ring, and you people think that this is not important. Laugh out loud, you're funny. Why is he just not calling it out? Why he ain't been calling out? Why he need to do it on record? See, that's why I need y'all to raise y'all thinking. I'm not saying that is not going on. I have no personal intel as to what Drake or Kendrick are doing, but you're asking everybody else who has no knowledge of really what he's talking about to care more about it. If Kendrick had that information, why he going to the booth and not to the police? Ask yourself that. But see, that's too much like logic. Y'all too emotional. Y'all getting wrapped up into all this other stuff. And the other thing is, those are allegations. And if they not just allegations, why y'all ain't telling Kendrick to take himself to the popo? And don't talk about he can't hear all that snitching because he doing it on wax. So if y'all really care about Drake being that, if he is indeed that, why y'all ain't asking Kendrick to go to the police and say there's children in danger? And Easy says, D, you're not under water yet. No, I thank God I'm not. I heard that they have to rescue people here in Houston, like 400 people due to flooding, and hopefully it doesn't continue to rain because it's pretty bad, right? Hey, Black America, how you doing? Ricky, how you doing? Easy says, yep, I just got done reading it. Okay, so you're talking about the bill that I talked about, right? They're strengthening the anti-Semitism bill. And Alan, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Thank you. And Clubber, he says most black people are so distracted by this. White folks in Louisiana just got approval, yes, to form their own community. It's called St. George now. Was attached to that Baton Rouge, but this originally it started like in 2014, I think. They wanted to have separate schools, right? Like they wanted segregation, and it's wealthy white people, and they want the right to separate and have their own town, which is predominantly wealthy white people. But they said, you guys, we're welcoming people to come over, but we just want to have our own thing, which I don't care. I feel like we're all safer if they're all together. It doesn't bother me. But yeah, they're making moves like that, and we arguing over who is doing what people will probably never meet. And believe it or not, I saw Kendrick Lamar in like 2012 at a concert. So I've never seen Drake. My daughter seen Drake probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. She's seen Kendrick, about 2 or 3. So she could probably speak more to that than I can. Nevertheless, Emmett, how you doing? Says, I don't think people were paying attention to that anyway. To what? And I'm sorry, I'm going to catch up. Root Tracker, how you doing? And Brother Jonell says, it must still be Candyland. Calvin Candy got him a bit of fun. Black people don't even own the rap industry they founded. All the economic main power goes to the Jewish owners who supplanted and operates the music industry. All rap beats are for the masses. Self-destruction. They promote everything but self-love and black unity. Yeah. Y'all talk about Sexy Red all the time. One of those country artists has Sexy Red in front of his whole audience of a bunch of, white people predominantly twerking. Now, why didn't they have any women out there doing that? Why didn't they have Miley Cyrus or Taylor Swift, anybody out there bending over and twerking their behind? But they had a black woman out there. Interesting. Marjorie, how you doing? Zarai, how are you? Says they're making war against Israelites. Okay. And Herschel says, well, with the airways having been flooded with mediocre mumble rap, I think people are just happy to a good old-fashioned rap battle. But is it a good old-fashioned rap battle? Listen, I'm familiar with No Vaseline, Ether, and all the other ones. I'm familiar with those. Tupac, right? I'm familiar with those. But it's almost like they said what they had to say and they went on about business. I think this is something probably a little bit different. I don't know. I could be wrong. JJ said the major distractions in the black community: liquor, weed, ESPN, degrading music, reality shows. Yep, I totally agree with you. And it's all by design. Brother Samuel says, send me the article to the new bill. Okay, I will. And Ruchi says, I'm in California and I'm furious. And do tell me what's going on. Are you talking about the $2.6 billion? Yep. And let's see here. Herschel says, I think black people can multitask. I was waiting for that comment. I was waiting for that multitask comment. Well, what we've been doing before this rap beef happened? What were we tasking before this rap beef? Y'all do tell me. What was we doing? And did we move any balls? When we was multitasking, did we move any balls? Did we get anywhere? That's all I want to know. Okay. Black America says, what do we need a hate crime bill for? Okay. Buckhorse, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Yvette, what's going on with you? JJ says every last black politician will not touch the migrant issue. No, they co-sign it. Especially this Congressional Black Caucus, their mission statement says that they are there for black people and other marginalized communities, and they've only been there for other marginalized communities. They have not moved the ball for the people who vote them in office. But the marginalized communities, Hispanics and everybody else, they're there for them. In fact, with this strengthening of this federal anti-Semitism bill, there's a lot of black representatives. Hakeem Jeffries is one of them, spearheading it. But he ain't spearheading nothing for you. Just saying. DSB, how you doing and where you been? Thank you so much for being a member for 2 months. He said couch 2024. A lot of people saying that they are going to vote for the couch, which means they ain't going to go vote for nobody. Navy Vet, how you doing? Peace and blessings to you as well. Let's see here. Monet says a friend has been telling me about this beef. I told him it was a distraction. I thought the bill was a lie online going around, but apparently not. Dang it. No, it's for real. But we arguing about beef, and them folks is like, man, bet. Let us get something else while, we're distracted. Listen, I'm not going to sleep any less, or I'm not going to sleep any more. There's not going to be any more food on my table or taken off my table or anything else behind this rap beef. Again, what's in it for me to be this invested? Black America says rap beef has been around for decades. That I agree. Trust me, I know. And I know. Marjorie says, well, in their books, they speak of Jesus in the most demeaning and hateful way unimaginable, and we get beef. Make it make sense. It will be time to prepare your civil rights, freedom for speech lawsuits. And the other thing I want to say, too, is that they were able to use the 1964 Civil Rights Act in order to get those, right? But y'all were told that the Civil Rights Acts were for you. But everybody else has been benefiting from it, but you. Kamala, Biden, and everybody else are talking about the Civil Rights Acts and this, that, and the other. And you ain't benefiting from it. Everybody else has benefited from it. But that's that false idea of civil rights. It is. Thank you, Brother Sammy. I appreciate you for that. JJ says, we all know that 90% of Black YouTube is some typical ridiculous beef, unfortunately, right? Let's see here. Let's see. Moving on down. Black America says that's not true. It's less than 800,000 people, Black people in prison. Well, even if that's true, would you say that that's a lot of people, Black people, to be in prison? Would you at least agree with that? JJ says Black Americans lead in every negative social economic indicator out there, but we got beef. How's that beef taste? We got the beef with the bones, the fat, and all the nasty stuff with it. That's the kind of beef we got. It ain't even good. Herschel says Drake is probably looking at a hate crime bill. Okay. Incredible, brother. How you doing? He says, even folks that were conscious was all in the Drake and Lamar drama. Yeah. And I'm like, wow. I was kind of shocked by some of the people that I saw. I was like, damn, y'all ain't got enough juicy. Because when I see people online beefing and stuff all the time, I'm like, clearly you're not productive enough in your real life. Like, who has the time, you know? And Brother Jonelle says, why aren't these music artists and etc. taking on the example of the late Nipsey Hussle, writing things of intelligence? Clearly, degradation is not only promoted, it's invested in. Shout out to J. Cole for not falling prey to the nonsense. This society feared Black, unified, organized, and moving, intelligent, independent of their systems of colonization. That's in motion as clear as Willie Lynch, still lynching with light skin. Oh my God. Light skin, aka Drake versus dark skin. Kendrick Lamar, slave crap, aka N-word moments. You said that so beautifully. I've seen a lot of people make that analogy. This is light skin, dark skin. This is white enough, not white enough. And it's like, this is 2024 and we still talking like that? Wow. And you know, the other unfortunate part is on both sides, their children, their mamas, their daddies, their wives, or fiance, whoever, they've all been dragged into this. They ain't had nothing to do with this. And they're dragging all their family members and stuff in. It's like, is that what we're signing up for? That's crazy. And then Herschel says, I got a Black America, that was Vince Staples. And Herschel, you say, I agree to a certain extent with you, Demetra, but you can't stress out every day. You will mess around and have a stroke. Who, me? I ain't stressing out at all. I'm not stressed out about this. Trust me, I'm not. But thank you. Hey, Donovan, how you doing? Thank you. Yeah, Donovan, he's still in the DR. Marvin, how you doing? Says, so what is he doing about it? And I'm sorry, I'm so behind. I don't even know who you're talking about. And that's my fault, not yours. Avenger Ancestors, how you doing? But I'm going to catch up. Donovan says, help, I'm stuck in the DR. I tricked off all my money, so cash at me so I can get back home. Funny. Marvin says, they're supposed to be been built their own labels, and this wouldn't be a situation. Yeah. Build your own labels, but you know, you trusting them folks, signing on the dotted line, not understanding the contract. Still, even in 2024, we're hearing about stories like that. All the money that we have, all the power and influence. When I say power, I guess I mean influence more than anything. The world does not revolve without Black American influence, and we won't use it for our betterment, right? Everybody else is benefiting from it but us. And that is just, it's bananas. Easy says Anti-Semitism Awareness Act, which could make it easier for concerned students to file civil rights complaints. Yeah, so they want to muzzle people in that you can't say certain things. And that's really stemming out of these protests that are going on at these college campuses. They want to make it more so that you can't say certain things. But you would almost imagine if it's not actual anti-Semitism, might it be an infringement on freedom of speech? And that's where a lot of other people within Congress are arguing that point. Brother Samuel says, as a basketball coach in the past, he says beef, acronyms, have another meeting, balance, elbow, eyes in target, and flow through. Let us stay focused on our goals, right? But the other problem is, Brother Samuel, do we even know what our goals are anymore? What are our goals as Black people? I don't even think we know. But of course, it says, Donovan says, P. Diddy started in A&R. Yes, that is true. Another thing is nobody's even talking about that. Another thing is you have these people who are concerned about what everybody is doing, but nobody's have they said anything about what P. Diddy allegedly is doing? I don't know what he's doing. I don't know any of them. Just asking. But of course, says I don't listen to them dudes, so I got nothing to say. Got you. Brother Jonelle says those who own the industry regulates all pawns that's in the same, and that's got Tupac killed and Biggie killed. It's the tools being used for now. The people's demise. Who does it elevate? He says, how does their rap beef help you? How does it help Black people? Exactly. Yep. Hey, Brother Larry, how are you doing? So privileged to have you on here. If you're still here, I know I was running my mouth. He says, both are marketed and signed to Universal. Marketed to Universal Music Group or signed to its subsidiary. The joke is on us. So they under the same label, essentially. Do tell. All right, so let me skip down so I can catch up. Hey, Corey, how you doing? Thank you. Let's see here, Brother Donovan. You said the CBC just co-signing on all this, but nothing for us. So I have just I haven't been paranoid. What you're saying. And Joe, 1985, how you doing? Says blessing, man. Blessing on to you as well. Let's see. Andre, how you doing? Says CBC been caught in the headlights since Clarence Thomas. Absolutely. And Ricky, he says, yay. I agree with everything you said, D. But about this sudden hurricane of beef in rap, Ross, Drake, Kanye, Chris Brown, Lamar, etc. Something else tells me that when J. Cole apologized to Kendrick, he unwillingly started a new way of thinking about rap beef. Being foolish and dysfunctional, and the industry hurried up to shut it down by pushing so many rappers to flood the game with rap beef. I hope this doesn't sound too ridiculous. No, I think you're right on the money, because J. Cole did something that I don't know if we've ever seen that, right? He humbled himself and said, you know what? I let my ego get in the way. I shouldn't have did, because he essentially made a diss song about Kendrick, because it sounds like Kendrick may have started it. I don't know. But nevertheless, he said, I'm sorry. This is not me. Let me go back to doing what I was doing. And I was minding my business, elevating and becoming a better person. And I think you're on to something, Ricky. I definitely think you are. And Barry Smith, he says, who cares? You do, because you commented. So got you. Donovan says, question, D, are these not the same liberals that walked with King? Their kids are separating us from and do nothing for us. Yeah. Some of those baby boomers and silent generation, right? I think Jim Clyburn is of the silent generation, Maxine, and I think Sheila is too, maybe. I don't know. It could be wrong. Yanni, thank you so much for becoming a member. Love and appreciate you for that. And how you doing? And JW, how you doing? Says Black First Canada. And Fast Not Feeling says, if Lamar and Drake not creating thousands of jobs for blacks within their millions of dollars, F them. Yes. Barry says, how about the beef? I'm sorry. Yeah, I think he meant the beef between black people and the presidency. There's no beef between us and the presidency. I don't even know what that means. JW says, as a Black Canadian national of a Black first descent, I see a lot of nincompoopery, that's funny, going on. Black first needs to reject this notion that we need to save American democracy. We don't have to save ish, right? And we don't have any say-so. Democracy means you have a say-so. When have we ever had a say-so? But that's what they tell you, right? Oh, we're going to save democracy. How? Do tell. Black America says, we don't have families. Those other communities have families. The country can't go on without the family as a base. Okay. Donovan says, when are we going to call the black churches to task for taking billions out of the community and leaving it in ruins? Well, we need to call the parishioners to task for giving them all the money. Let's see here. I'm going to skip down a little bit so I could catch up, y'all. I do apologize. And Easy says, D, the black prison population of U.S. is disproportionately high compared to the total U.S. population. 33% is more than 800. Trust me, I know Black America with the stuff. More than 800,000. We almost have the population. So, 33% is high. Where they say we're about 14% or so of the population, 33% of the prison population is us. I think that's high. Okay. So let's see. Marcella, how you doing? You says, just joining the chat, sister. This is off topic. I love your afro. Well, thank you. I hesitated to wear it because it's hot. And I want to see how small it's going to get by the time I leave here. But thank you. Yes, Easy, you're right. 33 is almost half the population. Brother Salmon says, light skin versus dark skin battle is a sign of unhealed trauma, PTSD. We need reparations. I love that. Yeah, we are still arguing about that. Light skin, dark skin is crazy. Let's see here. Brother Dine says, our people need to step back from these protests because we have no dog in the fight. You need to know about the Palestine involvement in the transatlantic worldwide war. Ooh, say that 3 times. Yeah, absolutely. But you still never want to, be happy. Not that I'm saying you're saying that about genocide. It's insane because that's what it is. Wow, Williams, how you doing? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. And hey, Al, how you doing? It says on the NOI page, Wesley Muhammad is supposed to talk about this wrap chicken and beef. Are you crazy? At 9 o'clock tonight. I definitely want to try to check that out. And Barry says no. He says, I wouldn't make a whole show about stupid rap beef. It doesn't make any sense. We have more pressing issues. Well, you wouldn't do that. And then this show is not even necessarily about the rap beef. It's about what are we being distracted from? So you weren't paying attention. Because as I said, I'm not engulfed into this rap beef. I am trying my best not to even see it. But unfortunately, it has inundated, as I said in the beginning, all of my timeline. But perhaps you weren't here during the beginning of when I started to speak. And I listed a whole host of things that we should be focused on. not this rap beef, if that's even what you want to call it. If you ask me, and I'm with Brother Larry, Brother Samuel, and Brother Jonell, I think this is manufactured. I think it's manufactured. And Brother Larry said they're both under the same label. How many people actually knew that? They're both under the same label. So they beefing, and like they got y'all all involved. When I say y'all, I mean them, are all involved in this so-called rap beef. And what do you get from it? What do you gain from this rap beef? I don't gain anything. We're losing time. But we are, as Dr. Claude Anderson said, a permanent underclass. You know what permanent means? Permanent means forever, right? And we worried about rap beef. That's what we're worried about. There's still systemic and institutional racism going on that predominantly affects us. And we worried about rap beef. When I say we again, I mean them. Maybe it's not you. Maybe you have no earthly idea of what's going on, but we've seen this before. This is not new. I remember they had the song where all the rappers came together, self-destruction, to stop us from killing each other, right? They were raising awareness. And then you had We All in the Same Game. Same thing, was 80s and the 90s. And here we are in 2024. And even outside of the rap beef, right? Look at all of the destruction that goes on in our community. And a lot of that is tied to rappers. I had somebody ask me about King Von. Why I ain't say nothing about King Von? He was a rapper. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. That was in Chicago. I understand he's no longer with us. But as I was reading up on him a while back, sounds like he was considered to be a serial killer, right? So I was asked why I didn't say nothing about that. Well, I can't say anything, things about everybody, as that is not my thing. But, I'm familiar with the style of drill rap, which is like murder rap, for lack of better words. So there's a lot of things going on in our community that we should be concerned with. But what these two guys got going on, they going to be all right. But you ain't. You might be working on a job somewhere, and you may get fired. And you know who they going to bring in there to take your job? One of these migrants, and they're going to pay them a lot less. But guess what? You know all the ins and outs. You done streamed all the beef songs, making Drake and Kendrick a lot wealthier, and you're going to be looking for a job. Good luck. So I'm going to get back into these comments. Let's see here. Who else came on here? Who would have to catch up? Okay. Andre, how you doing? Says protect yourself from human trafficking. Oh yeah, for sure. Because that's a thing too, especially out here. Donovan says LaFace, Bad Boy, Perspective, Motown, Philly, International, Ruthless, Death Row, all subsidiaries of the white labels, a mirage. You better tell them, friend. You better tell them. Easy says Palestinians are Arabs are heavy in slave trade. That we do know. I trust me, I know. Pop, how you doing? Shalom to you as well. Andre says FG. Oh, get the. I don't know what that means. Out of here with his own Bible hustling Jesus. I don't even know what you're talking about, but do enlighten me. A different view. How you doing? Says to avoid it myself. You right. Black America says, can I come up, Miss D, to explain this 33% people is real? I would love to bring y'all up. However, the weather is kind of wonky. And if I go out, then I'd have to come back in on my phone and stuff. And I don't want to leave anybody up here stuck. So, but I will catch your comments in the comment section. But if the weather is going to hold, then I may do that. So I'm just kind of watching myself. Black Talon Beats, how you doing? Says there aren't that many Jewish people in America. That's true. They're about 2.2% of the population. It says if all of us stop focusing on Drake and Kendrick and tweeted at our elected officials, it wouldn't change anything. The elected officials are bought. Yeah, I totally agree with you. But with all the money that we realize in the Black community, 1.4, some people say 1.7 trillion, maybe even 2 at this point. All the money we realize, do we really need them for a whole lot of stuff? I'm not saying we don't, but imagine if we practice group economics and did for self and up you mighty nation, accomplish what you will and all that. Imagine what we can do for ourselves instead of depending on the government. As Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, nobody in that White House is going to do anything for Black people, which is why we need to do for self. See, that's what everybody else does, right? Which is why it makes it easier for these politicians to do for them, because when you have money, you have power, right? Where there's money, there's power. You can talk real loud when you got a big wallet, you know. And L, how you doing? Said it's a script. Very well, maybe. VL, how you doing? Says theater. Yes, indeed. And C Hutch, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Brother Don says start a channel. Right. Tell him. Donovan says, are you guys including the 11 million? You said illegals before Biden opened the borders, right? And Brother Jonell says, remember two parts in Django when Django met Stephen. Calvin told Stephen, you two N-words ought to hate each other. And when they first met Calvin, two brothers was fighting to the death. Calvin said, come on in. We got us a bit of fun going on. Willie Lynch tactics have not stopped being applied to Black people and others. It's definitely not our economic empowerment. Our focus should not be on our division, but our unity. And see all those who are adverse to our self-love and empowerment, we must decolonize. Absolutely. In your comment cut off. Totally agree with y'all. With you rather. And Barry says they are putting a migrant shelter 3 blocks from me. See, yeah. But how many people are really focused on that? But we know all the ins and outs of Drake and Kendrick and what they may have did and what they may not have did. And some it's like, but do you know they're putting a shelter? And they're doing that to Black people. They're putting that in those shelters in Black people's community, right? What's left of it. And they're telling you, too bad, so sad. But I'm going to see you at the polls, though. Come show up to the polls. Where we going to have you some chicken. We're going to have the fish fries. We're going to have the strippers. They're going to be twerking and talking about getting to the polls. Saucy Santana and all those people, they're going to admonish you if you don't go to the polls and vote for more or nothing. And they setting up these shelters and you got beef. Do you even have A1 steak sauce to put on the beef? I like, A1 sauce on my steak. I'm just that uncivilized. I like steak sauce on mine. Did we even get steak sauce with the beef? I'm just asking. Let's see here. My comment skipped up. Okay. Woo, y'all going in. All right, so let's see. And Metamorphosis, how you doing? He says, Osayo, Demetra in chat, rap and hip hop have been dead. It's been co-opted and commercialized. You think anytime you can turn on the television and hear, I think it was Sir Mix-a-Lot. Baby got back on one of these commercials and it was white people. It's like, okay. Yeah, it's very commercialized now. A different view. So it's a distraction to take our mind off of what's really going on around us. You think? You are absolutely right. Barry says, my property value will go down 40 grand with this migrant shelter near me. Right. But how many, of us are in your neighborhood and how many have gotten together? And I know in Chicago, they really out there now. And they said, we know this is our fault. We've done this. We voted for these politicians. They talking about flipping Chicago red. They asking Trump to come on in there, and they feel betrayed. But it's like, you weren't betrayed. You betrayed yourself. They didn't do anything differently than they've been doing to you. But somehow you thought it was going to be better. And Brandon Johnson is just thumbing his nose at Black people, doing all that he can for the migrants. And then when Black people say, or Chicagoans, well, I don't like what you're doing, Brandon. Oh, leave me alone. I'm stressed out. I got kids. I got a wife. They got soccer practice and all this other stuff. So he don't want y'all calling to the carpet, but he going to continue to do for everybody else. Your property value, wherever you are, is going to go down because of it. That's actually taking more wealth from the community. I don't know. Hey, Beverly, how you doing? Says, we don't need any more rap beefs. Haven't we learned from Tupac and Biggie's murders? Right. And that's all over the place, depending on what you believe, right? And Mike Nice, he says, forever, Dr. He says, Andre 3000, rather. Sorry, Miss Jackson. All right. And Andre says, Tulsa Riot Massacre was in 1921, just over 100 years ago. And Drake and Kendrick are the topic. Really? I totally agree with you. Drake and Kendrick gonna take their bag full of money, probably gonna get on the phone together tonight and be like, man, we got them talking, but we getting all this money though. Hey, Mildred, how you doing? Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that. Okay, so Andre says, TFG, the former guy, 45. Okay, y'all got to let me know what all that means. Quincy says, false information. They are not signed to the same label. A quick Google search will show you Google is your friend. Is it really? All right. Donovan said the NAACP will fight for us. You better stop. Godspeed, how you doing? Says, worried about Kendrick Lamar and Drake. We need to be focused on reparations for our community and not getting sidetracked by celebrities who do not have our best interest at heart. Right. When is the last time you heard Drake or Kendrick say our people need reparations? Since they got, everybody's attention, I've never heard them say that. I'm not saying they never have. Maybe they have. But are they really getting on their podium and saying, okay, forget what I'm talking about. My people need some money. I don't know. They might be. Thank you, Brother Larry. Black Talent, you say agree with that. Must do for self. Just talking about the hate crime bill. Yeah, I mean, we're still very unprotected. As a matter of fact, there's a black man, and I keep saying I forget his matter of fact, let me see. I forgot his last name because I wanted to talk about that. Let's see. I sent it to myself. And I'm going to ask y'all if you know, okay, brother by the name of Frank Tyson. Have y'all heard of Frank Tyson? In Ohio, I think it is, a 53-year-old black man that was essentially George Floyd. Have y'all heard about that? That happened early, sometime, I think it was last month. But I saw it like a week or so ago. And I said, I want to see how this all plays out. Starting to hear a little bit more about it now, but essentially he was handcuffed and he was, taken out of here by the police, who laughed at him and told him to shut the F up when he said that he could not breathe. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about, we need protection from that. They rarely do that to anybody else, but to us, they do that and, you should have shut the F up. But we sitting up here talking about rap beef, and you still got black men who are being murdered wholesale by police officers, and y'all talking about rap beef. Amazing. All right, so let's see here. Barry says, so how come we are buying no politicians? I agree with you. We should be. That's what everybody else is doing. Y'all talk about AIPAC all the time. What do you think they do? They buy politicians. Every other community, they buy politicians. Why do you think the Asian community got their hate crime bill so fast? You think it's just simply because they're Asian? No, they got power. That's why. We think these civil rights movements are power. They're not power. Being able to organize and practicing group economics, that's power. Everything else is just perceived power, right? Hey, Judge, how you doing? And GP, how you doing? Says a little late because I just got back from my house from a rendezvous. Oh, my God. You be safe out there. Brother Nine says, when you come out of prison and require supervision, it's called parole. Probation is for incarceration of a year or less than a year in county facility. I think that's what you meant. Got you. Yeah, Judge, you get some chicken, you get some fish fries, you get all of that. Marjorie says delineation. He said it 3 times. The brother Jonell says, just think those who found that no music does no music and truly have no talent own our music, our talent, and our industry, and regulate or orchestrate negative images, artists, and music to our people. When you go to the root, you see why fear of Black empowerment, right? Y'all remember, and a lot of us was around during the 90s. Remember when conscious rap was really a thing, and Black people, we was wearing the medallions, not the gold, the red, black, and green, and we was wearing our hair natural and braids, and we was just real, like, just urban with it, right? We was going back to the roots, and rappers were talking about Black love, self-love, and all of that, and then it just kind of went away, right? Because we know that the music, just even listening to music, is very influential on every part of your being. So you hear that type of music repeatedly. Love yourself, love your brother, love your sister. Don't call your sister a B word. Don't, do this and that to your brother. Then people are going to be influenced in the right way, right? Well, those people, there's no money in that. They need us to be at each other's throats and confused and disorganized. They need that so they can continue to profit off of us. And here we are in 2024, egging that kind of nonsense on. Now, hopefully nobody harms each other. But as I was telling my daughter, said everybody, let's say famous people, there's somebody, if not a few people in their fan base that's cuckoo enough to do something in the name of their fan or the person that they idolize, right? So there's just a lot going on. I am Southern to God. How you doing? And Bakari, how are you? Thank you. You say, I am Southern to God. He says, how did these Negroes get wind of the beef? And when you say Negroes, what Negroes are you talking about? All right. And Pop says Drake is a ghostwriter using hat. Did I say that we need to be elevated to have this conversation today? I don't know what Drake is, but to call somebody a half breed, that's disrespectful. That's how you talk about dogs. Okay. So let's elevate our conversation just a little bit. I know on some other people's shows, y'all call people out their names and stuff, but y'all know we don't do that here. Please and thank you. I love you though. Uh Donovan says we are up against the wall and cornered. What do you do at this point? Um, we keep doing what we're doing. We try to teach. We try to, wake up the masses, but you can't do anything else until people understand where we are and where we need to be. Another problem is we have no knowledge of self. We have no love of self. And so we just continue running around in circles doing things that are insane. And we think that's normal and it's not. So, I don't know. Bakari says America is falling. Enjoy the train wreck. You think? I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy that, but Andre says stop giving your vote away for free. Yeah, ask for something for it. That's what everybody else does. Bakari says the Black Caucus is a joke. Yep, but guess what? We gonna line up to put them all back in there. Sheila Jackson Lee, as I said, she's in Houston and she's trying to go back to Congress to do more of what she's been doing, especially for Black people, and that's absolutely nothing. But people will vote her back in because they think she's the better choice, to be doing that. Vengeance Ancestor says voting for lesser two evil, you're still voting for evil. Yep, it's absolutely. I am Southern the guy who said Drake and Kendrick got the attention of the NAACP. Yeah, I saw it even on NBC. I'm like, wow. So the whole world is watching this, I almost said something I wasn't supposed to be saying. Hey, Brother Todd, how you doing? Peace unto you as well. He said the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Migrants have a right to be here like any of us. Nothing happens without God's permission. I mean, I agree that they have the rights to be here, but do they have the rights to get what we supposed to be getting even when it's funded by our tax dollars? I don't have a problem with them being here as long as we get what we've been asking for, but they getting what we've been asking for. So I get what you're saying. I agree. Bakari says Drake is getting paid off of imitating Black culture. Ain't Drake Black? I mean, I know he got a white mama, but he got a very Black daddy. So how's he imitating something that he already is? I don't know. Y'all help me. Elwin, he says politician been telling y'all all the time, we don't like you, we don't respect you, and at least of all, we don't care about you. Absolutely, I totally agree with you. GP says I personally like early 2000 rap. I was born in 1999 and grew up in the early 2000s. Not sure why, but listening to music and watching TV shows from my childhood always makes me feel like a kid again. I can dig it. Clubber, you said there's one person no one mentioned. He lives in Houston, I believe. The Southern, right? Suge Knight, is that Jay Prince? Yeah, I've heard a lot about him. I have, but yeah, he makes people check in here. You come here, I guess, as a rapper, you got to check in. Of course, we know Takeoff. I was here with Quavo, and he unfortunately was murdered while he was here. I don't know the circumstances around that, but Bakari says Drake is a culture vulture, sellout, meritorious manumission. Do tell. Corey says Black people, we need to do better. Metamorphosis says I only mainly listen to rap and hip hop when working out or our energy boost. Yeah, I mean I listen to it as well, but I listen to a whole lot of stuff, so I get it. Bakari says Black folks won't fight for freedom yet. We'll complain about the injustices. We won't ever get justice on stolen land. I could dig it. Mike says I'll listen to Nas to this day, including his new projects. Absolutely, I like Nas. And Urban Royce, Indigenous Voyages. How you doing? It says why does a post picture remind me of Jacob and Esau? Yeah, or Abel and Cain, even. I guess, but I get it. All right, so let me skip down a little bit. Donovan, you say too many of us are in the Matrix. Go watch that movie again and see if you get the message. We think everything was okay. Now that we plugged out, we see what it actually is. That is my dad's one of his favorite movies. He talks about the Matrix all the time. I got it. Okay, Brother Don says, yeah, I heard about that. He was in a car accident and sought help at a nearby bar. He said them cops, pulled him out of that bar and deleted him. So we talk about Brother Frank Tyson, the man I was just telling you about. That should be what we're talking about. But another Black man was, killed by the police in a most horrendous way. And we're not even talking about that. We're talking about two very rich millionaires. It's crazy. Black America says, was that the guy who was running and fighting the police? So he was not fighting the police. He crashed into a tree, from what I understand, ran into a bar, and he was saying he was afraid. He says, you guys are going to kill me. That's what he was saying. You're going to kill me. I'm afraid. I'm afraid. And instead of them diffusing the situation, they took it to the next level, handcuffed him as he could not breathe, did not take him seriously. And when they saw that he was not moving around and breathing, then they wanted to get the paramedics in and all of that. But unfortunately, he had died. So you should have a little bit more context. But if you know more about Kendrick Lamar and Drake and what they got going on, and you don't know enough about this, you need to probably rearrange your understanding of what it is you should be understanding. Avenged Ancestor says, you're absolutely right, Queen. Demetra, these toy cops love brutalizing, handcuffed innocent brothers. Yep, all the time. I'm skip down a little bit. And Brother Jonell says, it went from afros to blonde wigs, not by accident. You better say something about that. Metamorphosis says, bean pies, my brother. What? Want a paper? What? Okay. Donovan says, all these silent and baby boomer generation sitting in the shadows, still running for the election, running shadow government, Nancy Pelosi, Clyburn, and all the usual suspects. Yep. Didn't Nancy Pelosi just get a Medal of Honor, a Presidential Medal of Honor or something? It was like, for what? What did you get one for? I don't know. And Urban says, Kendrick and Drake need to collaborate and unify good for the culture, heritage, and identity. The big three. Identify, rather, the big three. Or not, he said identity. I think that's what you meant. Okay, but I agree. But, that'll probably never happen. That's okay, Pop. Just, just got to remind you every once in a while, let's behave ourselves. Judge says, why all these rappers beefing them folks yeeting? What is that? Black America says that was a very small part of rap. It was only those East Coast guys on that Black Power crap. Lady Blue, how you doing? Says, hey, DK, I had an opportunity yesterday to tutor some Black students in math. And what was interesting to me, there wasn't one Black tutor. People focus on the wrong things out here, right? Where's our people to teach the children? Oh, they online. You got some people who can, say that they are scholars, and they're online having all these, they're doing these think pieces on this rap beef. And it's like, is that what you got a doctor in front of your name and you are wow. Just wow. Out of all the things you could be involved in, you involved in some rap beef. Bakari says, how will Black folks defend themselves when this all collapses? With beef? I don't know. We don't even talk about that at all. And it's all by design. Herschel says, I disagree, Demetra. I actually brought Kendrick Lamar's last CD, Black-owned label, by the way. It was pretty positive. I like Kendrick Lamar. I don't have anything against Kendrick Lamar. I like both of them. I do. I like them for music. I don't like them for anything else. They don't inspire me to do a whole lot of other things outside of music, right? They just don't. And I'm not saying that one thing, anything bad about them. That's what I look to them for, is music. I don't look to them for guidance in life. Bakari says, how will, okay, I read that already. I'm sorry. And Ladero, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Let's see who else came on here. Miss Sweets, how are you doing? Judge says, oops, it jumped up. I thought I was toward the end of my comments jumped up. Let me find them. Sorry. Damn, y'all going in. Okay, let me catch up. Sorry. Man, like 100 comments. Okay, let's see. Judge says, I will be defending myself with various types of steel. Okay, got you. And ARE Radio, how you doing? Says, immigrants need to stay in their homeland. That's the only right they have. Quincy says, Black people don't do blackface. Drake does blackface. I'm not sure what that was about. I have seen the photo, if you will, of him doing blackface. Black people do blackface all the time. Black people doing the bidding of white supremacy all the time. I'm not defending Drake. Like I said, I don't have a dog in the fight. But y'all mad at Drake when Black people do blackface all the time. Now, maybe they're not painting their faces black, but anytime you call yourself Black and let's say you go to Washington and you claim you're gonna do the bidding of black people and you actually do the bidding of white supremacy, ain't that blackface in a sense? I'm just asking. Poppy say he ain't gangster. So are y'all mad that Drake is not gangster? Do y'all want him to be gangster? Because don't gangsters harm people? Not all, but some of them. So do you want him to do that? Help me understand. Herschel says he brought up a lot of social issues back, black on black violence, father-son relationship, but yet there he is talking. I think you're talking about Kendrick, and he talking about Merk and Drake. So out of this side of your mouth, you're talking about, and I've heard the CD, the song. So one side of your mouth, you're talking about, black love and fatherhood and stuff, but then on the other one, you're talking about taking somebody out of here. Told him, what did he say? He made a reference to Daft Punk. Anybody know anything about Daft Punk? They wear, helmets and things like that, not really showing their face. So he basically, telling Drake to do that to protect himself. But so which is it? Being lukewarm? What are we doing here? Rachel, how you doing? It says Kendrick mocked Jesus. So I really don't care about this beef. And how did he mock Jesus? You talking about him having the thorns around his head? Is that what you're talking about? I don't know anything about that, but in all fairness, if that and maybe I'll let you explain it because I don't know exactly what you mean by that. Let's see. International Beats. How you doing? It says all the story is Kendrick want rap competition with song like that, but after Drake mentioned his wife, so Kendrick was like, okay, you want that? I will go with you on that. Okay, got you. Donovan says Tiffany Henry bought the votes by paying for her people's gas. She actually bought votes. It was illegal, and the FPPC and state attorney general did nothing. So you're talking about Tiffany, the super mayor in Dalton, outside of Chicago and Illinois. Is what I understand. Ladero says a coup. Yep. Razcast, listen very closely, and Pac pre-death row. I am familiar with some of those. It's funny. I dated a guy who both of those were his favorite artists in group, if you will, Razcast and the Coup. So that's funny you mentioned that. And a Poppy say, my cousin in the pen doesn't have anything to do. So he counts how many times Drake says the N-word. Okay. Again, why do y'all want a pink slip to the N-word? Why out of all the things we can own, we want to own the N-word? I don't want ownership of that. Why are we gatekeeping that word? That was never our word. But yeah, all the things we should be gatekeeping, we gatekeeping the N-word. Yeah, you can't say that. You can't say that. You're not quite black enough to say the N-word. Why do we want that word? Are you going to get some money from that? Is it going to elevate black people to reverse brown paper bag test to see who can say the N-word? I'm just asking questions, y'all, because sometimes I just get confused about things. We gatekeeping the N-word. GP says, I think the real problem is that most people take things too seriously. I stay unbothered by staying tapped in with my inner child 24/7. Just a hypothesis, but it seems like most people can't do that. Yeah, we should be serious about a lot of things, but we should not take ourselves too seriously. Laugh a little. Your average logical thinker, how you doing? Glad that you are here. International Beast says, story is Kendrick want. Okay, so he says rap competition with songs like that, but okay, so I think you just kind of repeated your comment. All right, got you. Herman, how you doing? Says I'm simply not moved by this Lamar Drake beef. End of it. Period. I'm glad. I'm with you. Darius say Cam as well. Yes, I'm familiar with Cam. I've actually had a few conversations with him on Instagram. Very woke brother. Sometimes he get on my nerves though with some of his viewpoints on men and women. But dope brother nevertheless. Let's see. And thank y'all for reminding people to hit the like button. I appreciate y'all for that. And Freezy Freeze, I think that's how you say it. He says Kendrick said not us, and not us what? You also say FBA. You say not us, they not us, foundational blacks. Okay, got you. Judge said the game of politics is to be sold, not told. Got you. Third Eye Nation, how you doing? Says, hey y'all, Says, I don't understand the Kendrick Drake thing. Maybe I'm too old, but respectfully, how is it helping our culture? Is not. It ain't helping our culture at all. It's actually hurting our culture because, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to try not to get in trouble. And I don't mean to put this on the brothers, but I just feel like there's a lot of other things that Black men can be focused on. I know there's some women that's involved in this, but I think it's probably more men. There's a lot of things that y'all should be doing. You know, y'all should be helping us build this nation, especially a lot of these older brothers. You know, but getting into this rap beef is I'm kind of sad by it. I'm sad, not necessarily by the beef, but I'm sad about the people that are involved in this beef, whether it's online. Some people that I really looked up to and sort of kind of I respected their viewpoints on things. I'm like, really? I thought you would be the voice of reason more than anything, but you're picking sides. It's crazy. Um, Ladero, you say same gang was a pro black collab song by West Coast artists. Yeah, it was. Bakari says, man, our people are confused. War all around the globe, and y'all think war won't find its way here. Hey, listen, trust me, I do know that. Absolutely. And Freezy says, you old, not getting it. I may be old. But as I said at the top of this hour here, hip hop started with my generation, right? So I don't know how old you are, but you late. You late to the whole party per se. So I admit that this is probably a Gen Z or millennial type of thing. What's going on? But there's a lot of people who should know better that are involved in this. They should be the voice of reason, and they're not. They're followers. So regardless of how old you are, do you have to be a certain age to have common sense enough to know that this ain't got nothing to do with you? Meaning, since you're younger than me, what are you getting out of this? Like, what net benefit is this to you? If you don't mind me asking. Pop says, who? Moist Talkins. I'm not saying no names. Freezy says, Kendrick said, people steal black culture. Well, the other thing I want to know is, too, that's true. But why is Drake bearing the brunt of that? For one, he's black. People been stealing the black culture, but Negroes didn't line up to get to talk about stealing black culture really until now. And I know that there's been conversations. Now it seems like people are all on one accord. You want to get rid of Drake, but y'all don't think Drake has puppet masters. Y'all think that Drake is the man behind the curtain? Y'all think he the whiz? Is that what y'all think? Drake has not stolen black culture. They know Kendrick knows who's stolen black culture. But has he said anything about that? When them people that have stolen black culture was on Kanye's bumper, was any of them as demonstrative as they are now? But y'all want to make Drake the fall guy for stealing black culture? See, when you're a logical person, you think about things. You just don't say stuff. You really think about things. Drake is not the boogeyman that people are making him out to be in the sense of he's stealing black culture. He's not. But then again, what do I know? You also say they hate us but use us, and we sign up for the using, don't we? We just sign right up for it. Metamorphosis says black folks allow everybody to become black, so why wouldn't they use it to their advantage? Yeah, it's profitable to emulate blackness, to cipher off of blackness is profitable. But we sleep. We're asleep at the wheel. And we only wake up to get involved in foolishness. And DOJ, how you doing? Says Drake is on the payroll of the Zionists. He gets paid to continue the drama. Aren't they all on the payroll of the Zionists? What black person out there is owning a major record company? Aren't they all a subsidiary of a major record company? So aren't they all on the payroll? Herschel says, exactly, I agree there are musicians. I don't look to them to save Black America, but apparently some people do. Pop said, yeah, that blackface he did wasn't even cool. Okay, I agree. Jackie McCall, how you doing? Says, I don't know how deep our individuals stay in the closet. It's just a matter of time for the true individuals to show up. Black on black, that's nothing new. Okay, and welcome, by the way. Avenged Ancestor, thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. He says, love all you do, Queen Demetri. Keep up the good work. And I appreciate you so much. And Barry says, every time a rabbit goes to the West Coast, he gets, for real? And like, I mean, y'all telling me I don't know. And Bakari says the politicians been selling out to our people. Oh yes, absolutely. Brother Norris, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Says black people are seeing everybody else getting help off of their tax money and still voting. Something like a serious Jim Crow might need to happen. Oh, he says so. Jim Crow might need to happen again. Says didn't realize the brainwashing was so deep. Oh, it's deeper than you can only imagine. Barry says every time a popular singer goes to the West Coast, he gets killed. Oh, okay, got you. So Poppy says you was talking about Jay Prince. He said, no, you said I was talking about that Jay Prince guy. He is said to be a gangster. Oh, gotcha. Drake is a gangster. I don't know what Drake is. But yes, I've heard that about the other guy. Mansa Musa, how you doing? Says, I'm gonna say this hotline bling is his calling, not K-Dot. Laugh out loud, and you spoke all over my head. I apologize for that. Okay, let me skip down a little bit so I can catch up. Joseph, how you doing? Says, what's wrong with Kendrick saying these things about Drake in a song instead of going to the police? I mean, I'm saying if there's a crime committed, and he's saying that there's a crime committed, like he's, messing with children, shouldn't he go to the police? Why is he doing it on record where he could profit off of it? I mean, if I knew some children were being abused, I would go to the police. You wouldn't. I wouldn't stop by and tell you first. I would go to the police. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. Bakari says cyber attacks on the grid. Who gardens against this ish finna crash? How will we black folks support ourselves when it's crashed? I always tell y'all about the movie Leave the World Behind. It's an excellent movie. It's on Netflix. Everybody should watch it. It's a tale of things that are happening, not even to come, but it's happening. How will you survive? Most people would know where to go and how to go without their phone or GPS. Back in the day, we had maps. We had Thomas guides and things like that. People knew how to read maps. People know. So you give a map to some of these people nowadays, they'd be everywhere but where they were supposed to be going. So when and if this grid does shut down, how will we survive? We're so used to, AI has replaced our thinking. Everything does the thinking for us. We don't even think anymore, which is why I think logic has gone out the window. People are so emotional nowadays. I could be wrong. All right, for real. Let me skip down so I can catch up, and then I'll get back to you guys' comments. And ARE Radio, it says, damn straight queen, the N-word is a label of pure hatred. But we want that word, though. It's mine, my precious. The N-word. Like, really? One who cares. How you doing? I hope you are doing well. Jackie says, we as black people are the most intelligent human beings on the planet. Don't you ever forget that. That's a fact. Learn how to use it. You preaching to the choir, brother. I totally agree with you. Let's see here. Soto, how you doing? How you doing? I hope you are doing well. Okay, and Brother Jonell says, mentoring black males instead of rap beef, they can start there. Yeah. How about that? There's a lot of young, impressionable kids who are involved in that, and they don't, I don't know, have the logical skills to say, oh, well, that's beef. Some of these people are taking it to heart. They acting like whole donkeys online behind it. It's absolutely crazy. Reality GPE says, my lights went out for a minute. I had to wait for my router to reboot after they came back on. What did I miss? Nothing. But yeah, this weather is crazy, huh? And Ladero, thank you so much. I love and appreciate you for that. He says, it's this type of foolishness that they continue to use against us. Why they continue to seek out rappers and entertainers to our leaders. Yep. And we fall right in, don't we? Just fall right in. What we doing? What we talking about? Instead of saying, I could have had a V8, because we really could have at this point. Bakari says, I'm so happy this pop, dumb, deaf, and blind music is being studied. Absolutely. Sweet Daddy Kool-Aid, how you doing? Says, this ain't Tupac and Biggie. It will never get to that level of hate. I hope not. I really do hope that it does not. Nora says, I'm so frustrated with black people. I've got nothing to say. I feel you, brother. I feel you. Yeah, Brother Jonelle says, Alexa, play Ice Cube, be true to the game. Who's the Mac? Yep. And I don't know if Ice Cube has gotten in it. I was on his page on Twitter not too long ago, and he's talking about the big three and, stuff like that. So I don't know if he'll get involved or whatever, but like I said, it's disheartening to see some people get involved. But of course, you say you were born in 1978. Okay. Black America says you want brothers to help build a community that doesn't respect them. You have an old-fashioned way of looking at Black people that is dead and gone. I'm going to keep hope alive, for real. Brother Don says we can't talk about these 10,000. No, 10 million. I think that's what you mean. 10,000 flame throwing. Oh, $10,000. Got you. Flame throwing robot dogs that sold out in less than a week. Think who has $10,000 in disposable income that they can access immediately. Them folks. Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty creepy. I did see that. Justin says anybody can come eat at our table. That's our fault. Yeah, everybody come to the cookout, to the picnic, and then when they steal the recipe, then we mad. It's crazy. Zarai, you say Drake is one of the small hats. He's not our people. Okay. Emmett says, it's just entertainment to me. I don't take it seriously. I hope not. I really do. Because it is just that. Judge says, why are we even talking about Drake and Kendrick? We're talking about it because it's being talked about everywhere. And we're talking about the things that we are actually distracted from. That's why we're talking about it. So we're not even necessarily talking about them. We're talking about the things that we're distracted from. Pop says, Diddle is finna be R. Kelly. Sealy. Kelly gonna have him trapped in the closet being oh my God. You own something today. Intel Sci 2020. How you doing? It says Drake wore blackface Jim Crow shirt and called us slaves. He's not FBA. Okay, got you. Hey Keisha, how you doing? It says thank you, Demetri, for bringing up the conversation back around to what's important to liberation of our people. Yes, indeed. Brother Larry says two handlers pitting their fighting sport dogs against each other. Their champion breed and the arena is filled and money is traded, exchanged, and made outside of the fighting ring. The dogs go back in training if they perform well enough to prove their worthiness to live. Peace. Yep. And we're all sitting outside of that ring, aren't we? Well, not us, but them sitting outside of that ring. Yeah. Think we really have some real say so. We're all being used in the larger scheme of things, used and distracted. And we really think, like I said, people making this all out of think pieces. Now, if you really want to think about it, think, what are we being distracted from and why are we being distracted? That's what we really need to be talking about. But making this into somebody is the savior and they've come to rescue us and come on. Oh, that's quite a name. But how you doing? He says, I've been to prison. I'll be okay. Okay. Or I'm wow. His name is quite unique. And Brother Jonell says, store food and supplies, consider the time and not the rat beef. Nah. They're not going to do that. They're not going to store their water and food. They're not going to do that. They're not. What's going to happen is they're going to be eating on this fake rat beef. And then when the lights go out for real, right? Then they're going to be like, oh my God, I wasn't prepared. Can I borrow one of your bottles of water? Hell to the no. You can't have none of my water. Can I get a can of beans? You surely may not. As Kevin Bacon's character. Kevin Bacon's character in Leave the World Behind. What did he say to Ethan Hawke's character? For those of y'all who saw it, he says, you knew this day was coming. And what did you do about it? Here you are offering me money. He says, your money is no good here. Because they wanted to buy some of his supplies and stuff. Because one of them, and I won't give a movie away, had gotten hurt. And he was like, your money ain't good here. You knew this day was coming. And yet you did nothing. But got involved in sport, play, and music. I prepared. And you want what I got? So if I give you what I prepare for, then eventually we both going to be out of luck. Right? So how many people are prepared for when it go down? Not many. Guess what? If you want to test this theory, when it goes down, I want y'all to go knock on either Drake or Kendrick's door and say, hey man, while I was involved in your beef, I didn't prepare. Now the lights done went off per se. Can I get a bottle of water? Matter of fact, you ain't even going to get behind the gated community that they live on. You might be pew-pewed on sight, but here you are all up in their business and not minding your own business. So, indeed. All right. And Quincy say, Miss Demetra, you are very biased and masked by saying, I'm just asking questions, typical woman. I guess. Herschel says, I'm from the Thomas Guy generation. Yeah. A lot of people can't read that. Jackie says, Booker T. Washington, Harry Tubman, Rosa Parks, etc., will be embarrassed by today's generation of Black people. And then some, right? Let's see. Barry saying, thank you, Donovan. And Barry saying, the next 2 years, you better learn how to survive. It's coming. Nope. They're not going to do that. They're going to be playing games in rap beefs. And they're going to be asking you for your supplies. That's what's going to happen. All right. So King Shaw, how you doing? Says 2 Black men in their 30s acting like damn kids, focus on positive stuff. Yep. Let's see here. Al, you said the big 3 basketball sucks. But yeah, Ice Cube, he's focusing on other things, though, you know. All right. And Ladero, he says Ice Cube shows Black outrage when it's profitable. How can you talk about a contract with Black America but only reach out to the media controlled by them folks? Make it make sense. I mean, ask yourself, why would Ice Cube, of all people, need to do a contract with Black America, which I read, I think is pretty good. Why would he need to do that? He's worth a ton of money in the gated community. He'll never have the problems you and I have, but there he is trying to get something for Black people, and Black people dragged him from here to there and everywhere. The poor man was like, F y'all, like literally F y'all. I'm going back to doing what I was doing. We're mad at Ice Cube. Ice Cube ain't new to this. Ice Cube been waking Black people up for a very long time. America's Most Wanted, okay, for a very long time. He's been waking Black people up. Even in the song No Vaseline, he was telling the rest of the guys, y'all gotta telling you what to do. You know, he was trying to wake people back up then. So Ice Cube ain't, he been doing this for a very long time. So I personally get mad when people try to dog Ice Cube, because you must not be aware about Ice Cube and the things that he has done and awareness that he's been bringing, even before it was fashionable to be bringing awareness. But yeah, we want to dog Ice Cube because he's like, well, you know, let's get something for my people. I think it's a very sad commentary of the mind of Black America. Okay, so let's see here. Thank you, Brother Larry. I appreciate that. Your average logical thinker says, not going to lie, I was definitely distracted temporarily and I was thoroughly entertained for a moment. West Side, stand up. Listen, I'm from the West Coast, okay? And I see that argument. I guess Drake is from Canada. I don't know. See that argument. I'm not entertained. I'm actually really sad by it. I'm sad to see so many people distracted by it. And they're not talking about good things. They're both talking about horrible things. Like I said, they drag people's families into it, children, wives. It's like, come on. Why are we rooting this on? Why not BJ Cole in the larger scheme of things? You know what? Hey, I'm sorry. Let me go on back to being more positive and uplifting. Nah, but we choose to jump on the foolishness. It's very sad. It is. On the beat, I think that is how you doing. It says, on the last, he says the last of the slaves weren't freed until 1960s in Mississippi. One of the reasons we need reparation. Hell, we still ain't free. If you ask me, we still ain't free. You ain't free to run around this country and do what you want. You ain't free. They still snatching Black people's land. You look it up anywhere in America, they snatching Black people's land. They want to run freeways through stuff. They want to put, condominiums and, beachfront properties and stuff on Black people's land. So how are we free when we can't say, no, thank you. I don't want a freeway ran through my great-great-grandmama's house or land. No, you ain't free. I know they tell you that we are, but we're not free. So 1960, maybe physically, but mentally, no, we still got chains on our brains. Minds, anyway. Bakari says, while we are being distracted from the modern day colonizing and extermination of a people, you next, we next. Oh, we ain't next. We right now. Let's see. I'm going to skip down so I can catch up. I'm so sorry. Easy says, these food pantry the size of her garage. It's okay. It could be better, because grocery prices are high. People are now eating those food pantries, believe it or not. Inflation is through the roof. So people who had savings, food say that people are starting to dig into that. So, but we should save. Lady Diana, how you doing? It says, good evening, Queen. It says, Demetra and all the beautiful people in the chat. Hope everyone is doing well. Cannot complain. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let me see. Make sure I didn't miss any comments. Metamorphosis says, not my pork and beans. I will lay down my life for my pork and beans. Yeah, y'all can have them pork and beans. Y'all can have those. I don't want the pork and beans. I'll take the beans. And I got a whole bunch of Navy beans saved up. So gotta do what you gotta do. The average logical thinker says they're gonna be looking like this hot. Can I get a sip of hell no, you can't no, you cannot. And let's see here. Ellen says, Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us about the fall of America. He said the white man will tell the truth in the last days in a strange and fictional way, meaning equals moves. Yep. Y'all know I talk about it all the time. Get y'all a copy. Get you a copy. Everything you need to know is in here, right? Most of it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us years ago, get you a copy. That's all I'm saying. Brother Jonell says, facts, Kevin Bacon character was on point. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Their rap beef will not feed you. Exactly. You knew this day was coming. And here you are on my steps talking about, here, I've got money. How much money you want? You're like, man, the world is shut down. What am I going to buy? I don't need your money. So you knew this day was coming. Just remember those words. And Metamorphosis says he tried and his own people spit in his face. I talk about Ice Cube. The Pop says Ice Cube needs to go on and I'm gonna leave you alone today. You tripping. Zerai says I respect Ice Cube for that. Ladero says he did that for a while. Yeah, Ice Cube been doing this. He's been doing this. This ain't something he just sprung up and was like, I'm bored. All these $140 million I got, I just don't know what else to do in my life. Let me go do a contract of Black America. Yeah, I just, my heart hurts for Ice Cube. It really does. And not because I'm a fan, but because the way we did him, when I say we, I mean us collectively, we did that brother so wrong. All because he had a conversation with Trump's people. I don't even think he talked to Trump. He had a conversation with Trump's people. Biden's people said, hey, we'll talk to you later, and still have not talked to him. And we just did him so bad. It's sad. It really is. Brother Don says, yeah, trying to get to Drake and Kendrick's crib, and you might get pew pew by one of them robots. Right. They're gonna be like, I do not know you. But I was, remember on Twitter, I was team Kendrick. I was team Drake. I was all with the rah-rah. I didn't get no sleep. I went to work late. And I was all in. Can I get a piece of chicken? A bread? I don't know you. That's what they're gonna say. King Shaw says, leave Ice Cube alone. At least he's trying to get something for us. You don't see Jay-Z or Roland Martin doing that. Watch out now. Watch out. Jay-Z, I think he gets a lot of flack, and maybe rightfully so. But Jay-Z, I think he tries to give people the game, but unfortunately, a lot of people just want the money. Like he says, when he went to his grandma's house or Thanksgiving or something, he said he had a cousin asking for like $3,200. And he was like, first of all, I ain't here for that. I'm here for the gravy. I'm here for the stuffing, But basically, when you try to give people the game, they don't want that. Man, scratch all that. Okay, I just give me the money. Like, but if I give you the game, I give you the advice, you'll be able to, go and do something with that. You give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. You give him or teach him how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. People don't want the lifetime. They want the short time. They want the fish, eat the fish. Then they're going to come back to you for another piece of fish. But it's like, man, I was trying to tell you how to fish. Remember when I perched my fishing pole up there and I said, come sit next to you. I'm going to show you how to do it. Now I ain't got time for that. I want beef. So I don't know. Bernita, how you doing? Says, with all the stuff going on in the world, we are focused on this mess. Dumb rappers, Jesus take the wheel. I totally agree with you. Judge says, Q promoted the same gangster rap that plagues us now. He did, but do you believe in evolution? For those of y'all that go to church, what does it say about when you was a child? When you was a child, you did childish things. When you became a man, you put those things aside, right? And you're not supposed to act like that anymore. So Ice Cube was essentially a kid. He's evolved now. He's creating jobs and things like that for people, right? He tried to do something very noble, and Black people kicked him in the tailbone for it. So You know, because a lot of people that y'all follow and y'all say y'all love and respect, you wouldn't respect them. Malcolm X is a good example. I like to use Malcolm X as an example because Malcolm X, when he was Malcolm Little, did a whole lot of things he should not have been doing. But y'all don't never nail him to the cross. Y'all see him as a deity, and I agree with that. A lot of times people talk Malcolm, they don't walk it, but y'all don't never nail him to a cross. But when it comes to people, other people, I remember back in the day, like he was what, I don't know, it was 30 years ago, 35 years ago at this point. So yeah. Keisha say, facts, Demetri. We need to learn to stand together and have our brothers back. We are all we have. Too many of us see blood in the water, enjoying and ripping each other apart. Yep. That's why I say, too, we ain't free. Because if you was free, you would know that's my brother. Them other folks, you see, they trying to get their hate crime bill strengthened to where you just can't say hardly nothing about them. Otherwise, they're going to accuse you of being an anti-Semite. Black people, we see, like you said, blood in the water. Where is it at? We start swimming and circling like a shark. Instead of saying, let me go and help them. Let us go and organize. Let's make sure that nobody else can do it. Let's build, lock arms and, build a wall. Nah, we getting in there trying to take a bite out of them. So I don't know, but that's being slave minded, if you will. And they no disrespect to our ancestors. They didn't have a choice on those plantations. That was rammed into them. But once we got off of that plantation, we never unlearned those things, even in 2024. So everything ain't the white man's fault. Just want to put that out there. Some of the things that are happening with us is because we're doing it to ourselves. And Aaron, how you doing? Says, hey, sister. Demetri, it's entertaining at the end of the day, and Drake brought that doing blackface normally. I say stop beefing with each other, but in this case, Drake moving like an op. Well, when did he do that? Wasn't that years ago? So now we're upset. Now we're upset. I'm just asking, like, why now? That's all I'm asking. Brother Derek, how you doing? Thank you so much. Love and appreciate you for that. You said it is possible that there's an unseen hand who started the rap battle. Is Drake being used by the unseen hand? Babylon used entertainment while the people didn't know the fall. You are absolutely right. I don't know. He could be being used. Kendrick could be being used. We're definitely all being used. So everybody's probably being used. But what are we seeing that we're supposed to be seeing? Like you said, in Babylon, that's what they did. And we're repeating history. So I agree with you. Brother Donnell says, you play Ice Cube music along with Public Enemy, KRS-One. It said most aware artists like Poor Righteous Teachers, X-Clan, etc. See what's happening today. The tactics haven't changed. Only the new fools who run from reality and truth. Yes, indeed. And another thing that kind of made me sad, I saw KRS-One. Sound like he was, I don't know if he was caping for the Democrats, but he was saying some things. He didn't necessarily say Trump's name, but I knew who he was talking about. I'm like, don't tell me they got to you too. KRS-One, knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone, not you. I don't know. So yeah. Brother Dine says freedom for our people is an illusion. Yep, I am chosen. How you doing? It says one long family. Question: how long will Ye sample one love simplicity? And I don't even know what that means. If you can simplify your question for me, and it's not you, I'm sure it's me. Yes, your average logical thinker, The Fall of America. Get the book. You're gonna learn a lot of stuff. Get the book. Metamorphosis says, I don't eat pork, but that was a joke. Okay, got your pork and beans and hot dogs, but if that's all I got is going down, I got it. You ain't gonna be crazy enough to starve, right? Tia, how you doing? Long time no see. Brother Larry says, look where Biden has gotten America. This country, I mean, it was already horrible, right? But my God, if you just stop and look at the state of this country, it is in utter turmoil. And it's like bizarro world, just craziness. It's absolutely insane. And he's at the helm of that. And unfortunately, we're going to go, when I say we, Black people are going to predominantly go and vote for him again. Because we're told that Trump is the boogeyman. And he somehow became our boogeyman that we need to get rid of. because we gonna be on plantations again. It's like we already on one. So, but yeah, just if you really just taking notes and looking at this country, everything and everywhere is just disastrous. And I don't think I've ever seen things this bad. I don't think I have. So yeah. Uh Aaron says when Ice Cube was with NWA, he was on 60 Minutes with Dan Rather speaking truth to power. Ice Cube always been conscious. Yes, he has been. I would definitely say that. And I don't really big up a lot of rappers, but I do like Ice Cube. I really do. M, how you doing? Says I don't want to speak to the person who signs the check. The folks on that mess will be just talking in the years to come with nothing to show for it. Okay. Uh Pop, I said I'm gonna leave you alone today. I'm gonna leave you alone. On the beat, you say NWA or fake gangsters used to push the gangster rap agenda on black people to help destroy each other and our communities. And I know NWA is credited with the gangster rap, but it was actually BDP. If you really think about it and look into it, was KRS-One and them that kind of was credited for starting gangster rap, believe it or not. But yeah, NWA definitely had a lot to, in pushing that. I was in high school when NWA came out, and it was just like, wow, everybody was all tuned in. Crazy to think about it now. And Aaron said he was exposing his reality is not what he stuck to. He told his real stories of life in LA ghetto. Birds on the East Coast had no idea. Uh-oh. King Shaw says, I'm taking a 500,000 over dinner with Jay-Z because you can start something with 500,000 plus the J folks helping him get his money. Even he said, take the money. So yeah, Brother Jonell says the day of great famine said is at the door, especially with the Bill Gates and Monsanto rather, at the height of farming and owning majority of the farmland, seeding it with toxicity and working on ways to serve vaccines and food. Read How to Eat to Live to be aware of what foods will prevail over toxicity. Understand chemistry, which is your root, sperm and egg. Think our root is a formula. Sex is chemistry. Yes, How to Eat to Live. I have both volumes of it. Definitely. It's so funny is because like I ate a lot of kale, especially when I was a vegan. Ate a lot of kale, and I read the book a long time ago, and it says kale is one of the things you should not eat. For me eating it, I'm a vegan. I'm eating the kale. It turned to find out that kale doesn't like me. It actually hurts my stomach. So when I found out that I have a bad reaction to it, that was the first thing that came to mind. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, "Stop eating it." I guess I'm a believer now, huh? So yeah, definitely a lot of good information in there. King Shaw says, we ain't free if the Democrats are trying to control us. Exactly. All right, so I'm gonna skip down a little bit so I can catch up. Mindful Moments, how you doing? Says, hi, Demetra. Happy Sunday. Hope you're doing well. I'm not voting for anyone at this point. I feel you and I totally understand. Doe, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Corey. Let's see here. Intel Side 2020 says, I look at some of our people sideways if they on that vote blue no matter who after 60 years of no tangible. Oh yeah, there's still some people out there talking about vote blue no matter who. Yep. And Judge says nothing in this country is any different than it was yesterday. It's the media telling us it's bad. If you broke yesterday, you probably broke today too. Yeah, it ain't gonna get no better, right? We know how to even do for self? A lot of people depend on these jobs. These jobs are letting people go every day. I think Tesla laid off a couple thousand people not too long ago. Somebody else laid off a bunch of people. You see Teslas everywhere. You're like, Elon, ain't you the richest man in the world or close to it? I know it goes back and forth between Jeff, him, and Mark. You laying people off? All these Teslas rolling around. See, to me, when I see something like that, I'm like, okay, this thing is going to get worse and worse and worse. But can you feed yourself if you cannot go clock in somewhere? That's a question I think we all have to answer. Arian say, I think Schoolie D came before KRS-One and NWA as far as gangster rap. You may be right, but the point being, it didn't start with NWA, right? It started with somebody else. But thank you for that. And let's see here. Brother Donnell says, Says it has never stopped being a plantation. You're just free to move about the cabin. America has never stopped being a slave-making country, just as sure as the slaves still wear and bound to European names. Majority are under the illusion of freedom via the illusion of inclusion. You better believe it. Yes, indeed. Let's see here. Oh my God, I got to the bottom. I can't believe it. I'm at the bottom. Okay, so on the beat, it says also reparations will never be enough unless we get the land back. Also, yeah, we need land. And the other thing too is when we get the money, what are we going to do with the money? Are we going to give it back? Do we, when we get the money, have money management skills and know that we should be building and cultivating and wash, rinse, repeat so we can continue to grow the money? Do we? I'm just asking, but regardless, we do need the money. And Metamorphosis says, I love all greens I put in my salad with other veggies. I do too, but yeah, that kale was messing me up. Then I remembered that. I was like, yeah, he told us to stop eating it. So, um, I'm hearing loud and clear now, Judge says the whole Dem versus Republican argument is just another distraction. Neither is offering any tangibles. Right. If you know anything about the Communist Manifesto, it talks about that. Race, politics, beef, any other thing is a distraction. And it's by design to keep us distracted so we don't worry about the capitalism, the bourgeoisie, the 1%. What are they doing? And I'm doing that up there because that's really what capitalism is, and everything else is just underneath it. What are they doing that we're not paying attention to while we're thinking we have a dog in a fight? Whether you're Democrat or Republican, whether you're Kendrick or you're Drake, whatever it is, you're black, you're white. It's the ruling class. Those are the real gangsters. And we think the problem is amongst us, the proletariat, right? The working class. The real gangsters are the capitalists. And I'm not saying capitalism is bad. We need money, right? Money makes the world go round. If you think I'm lying, go to Walmart and say, well, I'm just here with some love. And I want to take both of these baskets of groceries out of here. If you don't mind, they're going to probably call security on you. So we need money. But we're so distracted, and it's by design, and we don't even know it. So I agree. And Larry say war and rumors of war, right? And right now we're seeing so many things on the precipice, right? We have wars that's going on, and there's wars that's impending, So, at this point, if I understand your comment, are they even just rumors anymore? Because we're seeing this stuff unfold before our very eyes. Almost every nation is involved in some way, shape, or form. And America is right there at the center. Right there at the center, and got their hand in all of it. Sending money here and there. I saw where they're admonishing China. It told China that they need to separate and remove themselves from Russia. But it's like, who are you to tell China what to do? Or they're going to have to, do something else. It's like, you can't tell China what to do. But they think that they can. That's because the United States is giving a lot of money to Ukraine. And I guess by now they thought this war would be over. But so maybe they think that China is helping Russia to some degree. I don't know. But now they're trying to put it on China. It's like, well, nah, you are involved. If you don't know anything about what happened with Ukraine, it was Russia, Britain, and the United States. They told Ukraine, get rid of your nuclear weapons. This was during the Clinton administration. Get rid of them. We'll take care of you. If something happens, we're here. We have your back. Now, Russia made a move on them for they have their reasons, right? Made a move on Ukraine. And now the United States is like, oh, we did say we was going to be there for you, but we give you some money because they know better. They don't want it with Russia. So they'll give some money here and there, but if they was really going to have their back like they said they would, they'd be in the trenches with them. So it's all about knowing, right? Brother Jonell says, well, knowing is a majority of the, I should have read your comment, of the battle queen. At least you recognize and stop there for saving yourself. Yeah. Kel, it jacks me up. I had no idea. Let's see here. Aaron, you say, I think a lot of these layoffs are symbolic of the falling. Oh, yeah. Of America is not well like globally. Yeah. Tesla. A whole lot of companies laying off. A whole lot of them that you would think they're doing all right, but they're not. So it's going to affect everybody from every financial bracket, every tax bracket. Everybody's going to be affected by what's to come. Emmy says, I'm with the Donald. What do you have to lose? As he said, my African Americans, what do you have to lose? I don't know. But nothing at this point with anything. On the beat, he says, melanin is valuable. One black person is worth millions. Our organs have melanin too. Why you think so many black women go missing? Because the melanin they needed to function. So I've heard. Your average logical thinker says, never have we seen a time like this where even whites are suffering financially. They aren't going to allow the current administration to continue, in my opinion. Yeah, everybody's getting it. Everybody's getting the good old-fashioned kick in the tailbone from everything. Like I said, you go to the grocery store and you're paying far more than you did a year ago. And hell, even a couple of weeks ago. Like I said, I used to go to the store with $100 and be like, all right, got quite a bit of the things, but now it's a couple of bags. I'm like, my God, everything is just high. Gas, everything you can think of is just high. People getting their rent raised, and so it's like the landlord. Okay, I get it, you raising the rent, but where do you think I'm getting it from? I ain't getting no raise. I'm not working an extra job or nothing, but you raising the rent on me? It's crazy. So yeah. And Brother Larry says the dollar is getting ready to crash. Yeah, if you, especially if you know anything about what's going on with BRICS, they organizing something awful to destabilize the dollar. And people aren't even really having that conversation anymore, but they still working. They are still working. Even though the United States was like, well, we won't allow that to happen. It's like, okay, we'll see about that, right? All right, let's see. Nora, she says, most great civilizations have fallen not because of war, but because the gap between the haves and the have-nots got too big. Yeah. They said after a while, all there will be left to eat is the rich. Right? The gap is going to be so wide, and the working class, the proletariat, poor people are going to be like, okay, enough. And those gated communities that they live in, you might stop a few. You ain't going to stop them all when they come rushing in like a floodgate. But they don't see that. And it's just the delusion of it all. On Intel, it says U.S. government is attempting to delay dollarization, but their actions are accelerating it. Yep. Keisha says, geez, I've been getting my food and herbs on point. Now I have to get rid of the kale. Oh, well, I'll stick to spinach, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, and it says masculine greens. Yeah, I know we talk a lot about kale, but it's really hard on the system. OWU, how you doing? It says, to me, it's normal. Everything you speaking on is just normal every day and night. I focus on knowledge of self, determination. Absolutely, which is what we're supposed to be doing, right? But yes, indeed. Aaron says, if you're voting for either of these, I don't know what that means. Black person, you're co-signing genocide. Trump already talking about if he loses, it's going to be something. So he haven't from his past, you haven't learned, so you're missing some words. Learn from his past transgression is not going to, in your comment cut off. I've heard. And Herschel says, I recently heard that the Khazars started in the Ukraine, so it's starting to make sense why Israel and Ukraine are receiving aid. You got it. $7 for a box of cereal. See, I haven't bought cereal in years, but I wish I would. I'm telling y'all, there's a thing on YouTube, at least it was the last time I saw it, The Hidden Secrets to Oriental Wealth, and they talk about all of that. So you're really buying like a penny's worth of cereal when it's all said and done. There's no nutrition in that at all. But the Asians, they use rice and they use it for everything. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They sweeten it in the morning for cereal. And then, of course, they make a lunch or a dinner with it because they maximize their dollars. They don't go buy boxes of cereal. And they admonished Westerners and say, you Westerners are so foolish with your money. The Hidden Secrets of Oriental Wealth is on YouTube. I tell you guys to all listen to it. It's mind blowing. Ricky says, I know this is not about the topic, but oh, thank you. Says your Afro look great, and I wish more sisters would embrace their natural hair. Well, I love and appreciate you for that. It's gonna get hot, so I just did it today. As y'all can see, it's shrunk quite a bit because it's hot. But thank you. And let's see. Uh OWU says, I live in South Africa, BRICS territory, and trust BRICS are rising, more balanced, healthy societies, more free flow, less hostilities. Okay. Corey says, Biden must go. Brother Donnell says, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan told us Savior's Day, we are at war, lack of awareness, and war equals casualties. We must strive to get the truth and good intelligence. He say, instead of focusing on ignorance, which truly defines this rap beef and other Trojan horses. Stay aware, as Cat Williams say. Comment skipped up. Cat Williams say, I keep skipping up. Stay aware. Say stay woke, because the enemy works to keep you asleep. The walking dead, the living dead, till you're dead. RIP. Be aware and live in peace. Absolutely. You know, how will you know if you don't know? You won't. Judge says, my breakfast was a mango spring mix and some pecans. Sounds good. Also say stay away from nuts, because nuts are hard on the digestive system as well. Just telling y'all what it says. Metamorphosis says $27 for Mickey D's chicken nuggets. Are you for real? I've been eating at McDonald's and I don't know how long. M says the Republic of Money Launderers. You say you love when I say yes, indeed. It's a habit. I say it all the time. I think I got it from my dad. Yes, indeed. On the beat says, don't drink milk from Sweden. Look up Ecto Cow and you will see why. Yeah, I'm not a milk drinker at all, but I definitely would keep that in mind. Brother Larry says 2,300 students locked up from almost 70 colleges, campuses across America. That is wild. That is bananas. And they're exercising their right to protest. But it's who and what they're protesting. So I got all those students who will probably have something on their record, went to school, spent all that money, student loans and all that, and that'll come back to haunt them because they're telling the American government, we don't want that. They're telling their school, don't send our tuition to fund genocide, divest. But yet they're calling the police on them and brutalizing those students because they are saying enough. And it's actually really sad. I don't think they should even have to do that. And the Biden administration, Congress, they're like, so what? We don't care. But the good news is you can vote them out. So we do have some power. We can vote them out, but will we? Or are we going to be just distracted with beef? You know? Hey, Thunder, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. And your average logical ticket says, finally bought a rice cooker. I've saved so much money using it. Oh, the rice cooker is the bomb. You can steam vegetables and all kind of stuff. I love our rice cooker. And Judge says you soak nuts in water overnight to get rid of the tannin. Okay. And Brother Donnell says, original salute on May 11th. The Honorable Minister Farrakhan turns 91. All praises due to Allah. Yes, indeed. I said it again. M say Dimitri K says, can you speak on what happened in California cities like LA, Compton, etc., whereby the Asians and Latinos ran the Black people out? I never researched it. So I want to say that happened in the 90s, the early 2000s, where Black people were full on being assaulted, right? And, you know, taken out of here, terrorized by Hispanics in certain neighborhoods, you know, basically running them out of the neighborhoods. I don't know if that's still going on, but it did happen. I think that the Asians and now the Hispanics are running Black people out of those areas economically now, right? Because they have a group economics down. They know how to pull their money together, buy, you know, they know how to live in the same house together and get along. So they are just wash, rinse, and repeating. And they are whooping us economically to where we cannot afford to stay in those neighborhoods. Most of those neighborhoods in Los Angeles were predominantly Black. Now it's less than 6% of Black people in California. Los Angeles is very expensive to live in. You can really go into Compton and see a house for sale for $1 million or close to it. And I'm not talking about no monstrosity of a house. I'm talking about a house that more than likely, you know, especially back when they had bars on the windows. So, you know, they're running circles around us economically because we just haven't regained the sense like they did in Black Wall Street and all the other streets to get together economically. We fighting over stuff that ain't got nothing to do with us. So, but guess who can live in LA and in all those places? Drake and Kendrick, they can live in LA. They live comfortably in LA. But can you? Probably not. And not even the surrounding areas. I'm from Riverside, California, which is not that far from Los Angeles. Even Riverside is expensive. So there you have it. Brother Samuel, you say that's how y'all say it on the West Coast. Pecans. Says where in the South we say pecans. Yeah, pecans. My mom, she's from the South and she loved pecans, pecan pie. I tasted it once. I was like, ew, sweet. Mindful Moment says, why is the government choosing to focus on students? There are bigger things going on, but we know who runs this country. Yeah, those students are the future. And they're not like the generations before, right? They on a whole different thing. Their heart don't pump Kool-Aid at all. They are not afraid, right? Our generation a little afraid to say things, but that generation they ain't afraid to say nothing about them folks. So why not get them before they can get started and really start doing something positive in the world? I think that's partially why they're messing with them as well. And they won't even say, they say that, oh, it's a clash going on. It's like, was it a clash? Because the pro-Palestinian students, they're minding their business. And then the clash came along, you know. Aaron says, now if you oppose Israel, you're an automatic Hamas sympathizer. This type of propaganda is sickening. It's definitely going on. You can believe that. Nora says, Dimitri, how's Walter doing? Hope he's doing well. You know, he's doing all right. I haven't spoken to him in a couple of weeks. So I don't know. I called him. He didn't answer. But I'm sure he's doing well as far as his cancer is concerned. You know, he's doing all things he's supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be going to the doctor. I don't know if he went back. So I'll call him when we get off of here. But no news is good news, right? Mindful Moment says corporations, the alphabet, agencies, and billionaires. And Thunder says family, they have a sale going on the big online stores for solar generators and solar panel combo. It's definitely needed, especially living here in Houston, because my God, electricity goes out, it seems like every 5 minutes, and I hate it. Okay, so let's see. Brother Sammy says, we never taught to be the science of, we're never taught the science of business. Aaron says, if you look, most police shootings is being done. Oh yeah, Latin is trying to show that they are on team white supremacy. Dr. Henry Clark said it's best they have no friends, stay awoke. Yeah, that's what it is in Los Angeles. The LAPD, the sheriffs, predominantly Hispanics, and they do it to us even worse. Yes, indeed, because they feel like that makes them close to whiteness, and they don't want to be considered us. You know, back in the day, they were considered the new N word. They never wanted to be that, and so them being in those positions, y'all heard about the LA City Council and the stuff they were saying about Black people. You know, the Hispanic City Council, they're no longer there, but they're trying to organize against us. It's like, for what? That's why it's better to be about the business of Black people first. I'm not saying we don't care about other people, but the problem with us as Black people, we care about everybody else. And then they get on these behind these closed doors on these hot mics talking crap about the people who's always helped them, and that they use our blueprint, right? Our blueprint to help whoop white supremacy. Black people, we may not be whooping white supremacy, but I think we have been built to survive it, right? We are survivors. We were supposed to be extinct years ago. That was the way it was prophesized, and yet here we are. And everybody else community uses our blueprint and then want to kick us in the tailbone once they got a handle and they understand the blueprint. But, you know, they'll need us again. Will we be there, though? That's the question. On the beat, you say Israel belonged to Black people. The Rothschilds gave them that land in 1948 called the Balfour Act after World War II. All right. And Herschel says, I was rocking up until you said you don't like pecan. I said it right that time. Pecan pie. My whole image of you is shattered. It's sweet. It's just like biting into a chunk of honey with nuts. And it's just, I didn't like it, but my mom was her favorite. Ugh. Yeah. All right. So let's see here. Brother Sammy says, my late uncle used to say, I got blood in my veins. Ain't no Kool-Aid in my veins. That's right. My heart don't pump no Kool-Aid. Aaron says we need to stop saying people of color, minority, black and brown, all that is inclusive of black first. Yep. For us, by us. We learned the hard way, didn't we, with that inclusiveness, people of color, minorities, affirmative action. We learned that that benefited everybody else but the so-called original people that it was supposed to be for. So absolutely. Average Logical Thinker says, I definitely have to sacrifice and get a solar generator. They have small ones, 1200 watt, ones for 400 at the sporting goods store. And I know Sam's Club have them as well. I think they're around that much too. And Beverly says, these protests started after we Black Americans spoke up about reparations. On the beat says, my bad, the Balfour Declaration, British government through the Rothschilds gave them that in 1948. Okay. And Mindful Moment says, I agree. I worry about what benefits us first. Good luck to everyone else. Yep. Brother Donnell says, tell him you was born for the bean pie. Oh man, I love a bean pie. I'm gonna try to find me some out here. I'm gonna see if I can go to the mosque out here and see if I can get me a bean pie. I haven't seen anybody selling any, but oh my god, I love bean pies. Yeah, I love them. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. It's 2 hours and 5 minutes on the dot. I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. I will be back here Tuesday. Donovan will be back, I think, Sunday, as he is still in the DR. He had it pretty bad out there as well. It was flooding and all kind of stuff, so it was pretty scary. But anyway, I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Though it says Asian store owners come in dollar stores, buy up all the products, and go back into their stores and triple the sell the products to Black communities. Yep, you are absolutely right. So anyway, y'all have a great day. Rest of your evening. I will see y'all on Tuesday. And be safe out there. And for God's sake, I think we've all had enough beef for a lifetime, right? So let's stay focused on what really counts. And let's do what we can to organize and unify, because at this point, we are out of time and we are all that we have. Nobody is coming to save us but us. So anyway, y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all on Tuesday. Peace. Yeah, Donovan is still in the DR.